Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the side.
All right, coming back in, getting ready, getting set up here for game 2. I am again joined by my favoriteest of co-casters. We have Prowler and Arcane Soda. Say hello to the stream.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How are you guys doing?
So I have a question for you, Prowler and Arcane, which I'm now calling you Arcane. I've got a question for you. What do you guys want to see coming out of Team Nickel here to improve their odds right away in Champion Select? Like, what are we looking for in Champion Select to help Team Nickel win this next match?
I want to see some excitement. It's 8-12, the rules are out the window. Show me some excitement.
Also, the number one easiest thing is just ban Zoe. I mean, you have to throw 3 bans onto Van Hohenheim and just, hope for the best, worry about his Vel'Koz.
Yeah, so just ban Zoe, ban Vygar, ban Anivia, ban Vel'Koz, ban Morgana. Hang on, this is too many bans.
They are blue side, so they can leave Anivia up. Yeah, the old option 12. That's right.
Exactly.
I had this one all figured out last time.
I guess yeah, we've been here, done this. The way you get to Van Hohenheim is you just make it so that you can't play any of his comfort champions and hope for the best. Oh, Jared is saying we see the overlay.
Your command's
See
tiny.
the overlay. I forgot to do that. There we are.
Help.
Just kidding, everyone. Now you can see what the bans are. Okay, so a Zoe and Vygar ban obviously targeted bans against Van Hohenheim, who was more than a threat in the last game, so that all makes sense. Kaisa ban coming out, also an Aurelia ban. Interesting because that one wasn't played or banned last game, if I remember right. But that's probably targeted against Wash Up Top laner. He is quite a threat to deal with. So, looking at third ban here coming out of Team Nickel.
Yeah. Also, if you are Team Sig, what do you ban? Does anything matter? Is Team Nickel gonna even stick to the meta? Are they gonna get a little weirder? Who knows?
I shall endure.
And there's that Anivia ban.
Ace was really hoping he'd get to play as Icebird.
I'm wondering if it would have stayed Icebird ADC or if they would have swapped all the way around just to get Ace and Anivia in the mid lane.
Well, Ace could still be playing in the mid lane because Ace and Brandon both do play a pretty good Lucian. Meanwhile, we have a Teemo picked for the side of Team Sig.
Team
Check
Sig
your doctor's
listening in. Sorry, Team Sig listening in on us and going, hey, you know what that whole Nickel strategy that they were talking about? Yeah, we should just do that instead. Straight run a Teemo gangplank. Sorry, go ahead, Prowler. I'll stop talking over you.
I was gonna say, go to your doctors, folks, and get a checkup. Cancer's on the screen.
On behalf of not just the LCOS, but all of League of Legends, I'd like to apologize. No, I'm just kidding. Zedlock in, though, so Team Nickel also listening to us, obviously. The pinnacle of strategy coming out of this casting desk.
And the Akali, so...
Okay.
I'm already confused on what we're doing here. Is that Akali top?
Gentlemen, we are having fun. That is what we're doing here.
That's what we're doing. Absolutely. There's no rhyme or reason anymore.
This is going to be Vel'Koz, though, because I'm not sure if Van Hohenheim knows how to have fun.
We don't have any too many spicy picks yet because Akali has been played in the top quite a bit, and Gangplank is most likely going to be in the mid lane for Van Hohenheim. The Brand is the most puzzling pick right now, but again, that could be a support pick.
Or it could be that we're playing my favorite game, which is Guess Who's Going Where. But it could be a Brand mid, Gangplank top, Teemo support.
This game usually gets easier the longer you wait.
Pro strategy. Don't say anything.
Don't guess yet.
Guys, I'm gonna guess often. I'm gonna guess hard, and eventually I'll be right.
If I put out all the options, I have to be right on one of them.
But did you select the 12th one?
I love making that pun, but I decided not to. So my boy Arcane had my back. Morgana and Vladimir bans coming out of both teams. Yeah, whatever. And interesting because those are both flex picks. Because
In
Vlad
12 they are.
top, Vlad is. We're talking about our super weird LCK metas that we're seeing coming out. Vlad is actually more commonly a ADC now.
I totally know how to play this game, trust me.
Also, Goonstomp did play Vlad last week in the LCUS as the AD carry position.
Oh, he did do that. You're right. Goonstomp's just way ahead of me on that whole meta thing. But I do want to point out a little funny moment here. We've got Sig Talord throwing the ban down on his casting co-part Nickelbacker, who just played a mean game as Braum, followed up by a revenge counterban to get vengeance from our team, Nickelbacker team, target against that Sig. I am loving the tit for tat.
And you gotta wonder if that'll come out in next week's casting, if Nickel and Sig will be rubbing elbows a little bit with the dual bans there.
Might make the cast a little bit awkward if they're not in speaking terms, but
But what do you think of their picks? Other person in the room?
another Lee Sin coming out. I wonder if, yeah, I mean, that's probably going on Xayah again, right?
I would think so. But also, who knows?
Brandana's hovering the smite, so at worst, he's teasing us.
Ooh. That is a whole level of mind games. But if you remember right, Ignite turned into Smite in our previous one, so are they going to run double Smite? Is that what they're doing? Like, ooh, a Gragas support? Is this going to be a Gragas support?
I believe that's a Gragas support coming out of Sig, going back to his tried and true champion there.
Ladies and
Is he
gentlemen,
really a support if he's going to be carrying the lane?
Yeah, a bit underrated. That's actually an excellent. Keep in mind, folks, this is our challenger player over here on the Gragas and Sigtal Lord. I wonder if he's actually going to buy items this time around.
Yeah, we've seen in the 1v1s that he won't buy items, so I don't think he needs them. At the same time, I think Goonstop playing Yasuo ADC is going to want them.
Yes. Oh wow, that is a Yasuo ADC. Is that?
At least that's my guess at it. Again,
No,
it could be
well,
Gangplank
Currently
ADC,
holding the
Teemo
smite,
ADC.
so it looks like he's going to be... It looks like it's going to be either Brand or Gangplank in the bottom lane. My guess is on Brand because he's got the heal, and that's a traditional bottom lane pick, which he just switched to Ignite, so...
You know, one thing we kind of missed as the champions were being dropped was Team Nickel quickly stealing the Alistar away from Team Sig. Alistar and Yasuo, of course, a potent combo, one of those two that we've seen grouped up in the bot lane when the meta's been weird like this. So,
But you know who else has just as many knockups as Alistar?
who's that,
Gragas.
Mr. Soda? Gragas,
Gragas
absolutely.
does.
Yeah, there's plenty built in there.
But Yasuo's not even ADC. I don't even know what to do here. Like, or he's running Smite ADC, which is not what I would choose. And their jungler is not running Smite at all.
He's just going to farm up to 6, and then all he has to do is walk bot lane and wait for Gragas to engage.
All right.
We do see a change too. Exia switched off of jungle and looks like he's playing mid lane Zed, and Brandana, who was Echo last game, will be switching into the Lee Sin role.
That is another way to keep your opponents guessing, is to change what role you're playing. Part of the reason that I actually love gym class feeders, and I hope everyone else is as well. I think this is the point I'm supposed to shout out something along the lines of, remember Twitch Prime much love from the LCS casting staff.
Especially those of us who aren't the true LCS casting staff. But
Yeah, this is coming from a player. I'm not even. It's not even like a paid promotion. Like,
yes, please like and subscribe.
We
Also,
are
thanks-
some of the delinquent players in the LCUS that may not want our games to see the light of day, but hey, support us.
yes,
Yeah,
especially
we're
from the
just locked in the-
supports. Like,
Locked in the LCUS basement, waiting until Sundays. So nice we get to see the light on a Wednesday and do a podcast.
Send help.
We're totally not at 113 River Street, locked in the basement.
probably
door
quick,
code
blink
is-
twice if they're hurting you.
Wait, they don't have webcams. Help.
The
All
pale
right.
shade of depression.
All right, who do you think's gonna pull it off? Is Team Sig gonna Hulk out all over, or sorry, is Team Nickel gonna Hulk all over after that loss that stung them, or is Team Sig gonna?
I wanted spicy picks, and these picks aren't spicy enough for me.
Oh yeah.
Based on last match, the team that has Zoe is going to win, so I'm going for the band team.
A shrewd observation. Absolutely stunning. I am
Hang
truly
on.
sorry for our viewers who just waited 3 minutes to watch us load into a defeat screen.
The counterpoint to that is the team that banned Kaisa also won.
Oh,
Ooh, that is some advanced logic. I'm not sure I can deal with that.
But the team that banned Anivia lost.
Now I'm just too confused. This is too much. It's time to load into the games, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in game 2 of Team Sig versus Team Nickel. Now, for those of you who missed my wonderful detailed explanation in the first game, this is a matchup between our two normal casters. That would be Nickelbacker and Sigtal Lord. They well, two of our normal casters. We have a couple others, such as Kenos and a newcomer.
Jeff.
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 Yeah, his name is just his name. Anyways, I am looking forward to this showdown. Team Sig did take first blood in the matchup, but this is a best of 3, so we're hoping here that Team Nickel can strike back, make it an even 1-1, and bring us to a very exciting climax for the split. Although this game is not looking like any short of excitement here. We have 2 assassins, a Lee Sin, a Teemo, a Yasuo jungle thing going on. It's gonna be a great game, guys. I hope everyone's guys and gals. I hope everyone's looking forward to it.
Van Hohenheim celebrating 4th of July a little early, going with the Minuteman Gangplank. Gotta enjoy that.
There's some jokes in there that I'm going to leave off for the benefit of our audience, but
Anyone who mains Zoe must be a Minuteman.
it's something. Yeah, you got the gist of it.
But hang on, there's a Yasuo too. I don't understand.
Is it a Mastery 7 Yasuo, though? I didn't see a project skin.
It's the Duskbringer skin, which I mean, it's not terrible, but like, the thought is still there. You know.
Looking at how our teams are lining up, it looks like the makings of a 5-point coming out of Team Nickel, our blue team, and a interesting little formation here coming out of an interesting formation coming out of Team Sig. Already we're playing Dodge the Skill Shot by Van Hohenheim, but like he showed us last game, he's got more than a couple tricks up his sleeve, and he did it just fine.
Now he's been spotted.
Lee
Been
Sin
spotted by the
goes
blind
in
man, of
hard.
course.
Bot lane roams up. Action begins immediately at 57 seconds in the game. That brings
Sigtal Lord did buy items, so you gotta lean towards them winning this game.
his competitive side must have gone over his fair side on that one. I was really hoping for that 1-1 split, but wrap it up, blue team.
Also, our Zoe band team didn't win just yet, so I'm wondering when the Qs are gonna start flying in from off the map.
I think what's going to happen is the players are going to both simultaneously unanimously surrender at 15 minutes. I think that's what's going to happen.
The true test of skill.
Things are, I think, a little bit quieter than our last game, but let's talk about things here for a bit. We've got a Lee Sin starting red buff, and a Yasuo starting blue buff. My goodness, that just feels toxic already. Hey, look at Teemo.
A Teemo who's up a couple farm now, which is good going into an Akali, but I don't expect that to last forever.
We got a Yasuo going blue buff to Wolves. We've got a Lee Sin going red buff to Wolves. We've got Scuttles, very happy to be alive.
No one following the buff scuttle gank mentality for this one.
So my argument about the buff scuttle gank route over like a buff scuttle or something like that is the buff scuttle gank route. Basically, if you don't get a good advantage from the gank in the mid lane, your strategy kind of crashes and burns if you do attempt for the gank. But it is nice because you can do buff scuttle, and then by then you should know if you're able to gank mid lane or not, and path from there.
So something that we've kind of glossed over is I just want to point out that it's a brand ADC. So we're just welcome to the meta. Ooh,
Yeah, we did just kind of
mid-lane.
accept that, didn't we?
Oh, gank coming to mid lane, getting a lot out of our Gangplank. Does survive with the use of barrier. Ignite goes down off of our Zed player as well.
So both players holding flash, so very well done by Van Hohenheim. Just know that he just has to walk it out with his oranges.
Yeah, and it was the barrier, the oranges, and the proc from Grasp of the Undying that really got him through that. Without using everything there, I don't think he makes it out.
Probably a question for you as a top lane player. Is Grasp of the Undying popular on Gangplank? I was kind of expecting Klepto coming out of that.
So Klepto is definitely the more popular option, but Grasp of the Undying is great because you can proc it so often. Again, Gangplank's looking to, get that little extra, ignite on auto damage onto you. So it's not the most desirable option, but in the mid lane against the Zed, it can turn you a little bit tanky. And maybe that's what you want instead of the extra gold in this case.
Uh-oh, looks like we're going to get first blood in bot lane. Brand passive is on Alistar, on our very own Nickelbacker. Ace does throw out the heal to no avail. There was, I think, double ignite. Yeah, absolutely a double ignite on that deal. Just dirty, disgusting play out of our challenger. I love it.
Going back to the grasp on Gangplank, I do strongly agree with the decision to go Grasp of the Undying, because against not only a Zed, but such a bursty team that Team Nickel has here, just gives him a little bit more durability and makes him a little bit sturdier so he can actually stand up and kind of trade in a lane that's not going to be too favorable for him.
Yeah, obviously Gangplank wants to poke from afar, and Zed's not going to let you do that. So it's nice to kind of keep you topped off and looking better for the late game too. Although in this meta, I don't know what late game even is. We're just hoping to get to 20 minutes. Things have actually quieted down quite a bit from our first game. I don't know if that's everyone being a little more cautious, or if that's
Yeah, I'm barely out of
these
breath.
champions
Like,
and these rules. Yeah.
looks like Alistair's going in for some kind of, just asserting dominance. It's fine. He wants to show that he's not going to be scared off by no challenger supports.
Looks like Brandana's trying to engage in the top lane. I don't think he's going to find a good angle. They've got to get out of there with that huge minion wave, otherwise Klagstrong might just pick up a double kill. Watch up top
Oh
laner,
no,
trying
flash
to go
forward,
in.
watch up top laner, ignites down, does shield, no, it was so close. Oh goodness, he safeguard.
And engaged in the bot lane now.
Oh my goodness, I can't keep up, there it is.
Exhaust is
And
dropped
he
by
has to
Alistair.
smite the cannon so he doesn't die to minions top lane.
Want to shout out that Lee Sin had the little passive nullifying orb magic resist thing, which also would have killed him if he didn't have it. That was stupidly close out of our Lee Sin player Brandana. Oh, Gragas initiate, counter initiation here from Nickelbacker. This is quite a little duel of duets here in bot lane. That's
A good flash from Ace saves him from that. Meanwhile, mid lane we have the Zed engaging onto Van Hohenheim, and
So
he
just
does
drop the
pick it
ball
up.
like crazy. Barrier's not gonna be enough to save Gangplank.
Unfortunately, not. Does burn barrier and flash.
we've got a meeting of junglers. Yasuo bumps into Lee Sin doing red buff, forces the reset. Oh, that's rough. Yasuo leaves out now that Zed roams down from mid. But a major inconvenience, or well, a minor inconvenience, I suppose, to the Lee Sin player.
It's just me, or did red buff look real mad at that wall for a second there?
Just stare at it, like try to assert dominance over the wall.
The counterpoint is, does Red Buff ever look happy? Because when I was in Bronze, Red Buff always scared the crap out of me.
What do you mean win? No, I'm just kidding.
When, like, I ever escaped.
No, I remember he got out and then he went back. That was.
So for the viewers at home who don't know, when I first made it out of Bronze, I immediately dropped back in with a 38-game losing streak in ranked.
He
Spread out
went
over a
from
period of 2 weeks.
approximately silver 4, or was it higher?
It was silver 4 down to bronze 4.
Yeah, it was quite the jump he took. But now he has evolved past that.
sitting safely in gold for a change, which is always very nice.
looks
He
like
has
a big
evolved
fight
to
coming out
the
of mid
shiny
lane.
bronze.
Flash forward from. Okay, kick forces out flash. Not the kind that you want. So Brandana's kick forced out Xayah's Exia's flash. I'll get that right at some point today, I'm pretty sure. But little bit of a misstep there, but all in all, perfectly fine. We've got Yasuo almost losing to blue buff, but successfully countered jumbling blue buff. There it is. And low Teemo in top lane with enough mushroom traps to make it worthwhile, and an Infernal Drake to boot.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're, Team Nickel, I'd just keep ganking mid. It's what's working for you. You're not risking nearly as much as trading 1 for 1 with the Teemo. Just keep diving Gangplank and get to the late game here. Sorry.
Yeah, and if the Teemo or the brand becomes a problem later, the Zed being pretty well off can just take them out of the equation fairly effortlessly.
Looks like we have a 3-for-2 scuffle here around the Inferno Drake. Looks like Flash gets forced out of the brand. Unfortunately, throws his ult in a way where it won't bounce. Rough passive gets propped. Brand passive gets propped on Nickelbacker. People disengage. A meeting of 2 ships in the night. Gangplank has found himself right next to a Zed who's doing just fine. Looks like double ults come out into his Zhonya's. Oh, that was probably closer than Exia wanted, but all in all, this Exia is getting some vengeance for last match. Flash forward by the Yasuo, unfortunately doesn't secure the kill. Oh no, disaster.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, the washed-up top laner, Akali, also does manage to get a kill onto the Teemo and barely make it out.
Yeah, and that's the Yasuo in all my solo queue games, so I gotta figure out who that is, because I've seen them a lot, where there's one low health champion pegged around 3 full health champions, and they just go in anyway.
I want to point out that Wash Up top laner makes a great play in top lane, only to be interrupted by minions, so he can't recall. Infernal Drake, bit of a scuffle going down. Looks like they're going to try to burst it, except for the jungler jumped out. That seems like a play I would make. Oh no. Cass comes out. Gragas is trying to secure on it. Is Smite there? It is. Lee Sin secures the dragon. Also a 2-for-0 in the favor of Team Nickelbacker. This is a very strong start out of our Team Nickelbacker, trying to make it a 1-1 on this best of 3.
Yeah, they have a 2k gold lead, which in this meta is like a 10k gold lead, 2 patches ago. And they've got an Infernal Drake on top of it, so you gotta like their chances of pulling this one out and making it a 1-1.
Now that we said that, of course, they're totally screwed because of Caster Curse, but it was a solid attempt. Anyways, they're coming up on that 15-minute simultaneous surrender anyways, so it's...
the band's always just gonna drop Qs on everybody.
For our members of the audience who, I'm sure,
And the
have
nice
totally
thing
followed.
for Team Nickel here is Ace has this lead on his Lucian again, but this time he's not the only person on his team with a lead. He doesn't have to try to solo carry. The rest of his team can actually help him out now.
Which is gotta feel nice, when you don't have to be the only source of damage. Or the only one who's taking Zoe Qs, sorry.
Speaking of gold leads, I did bring up the gold score chart there. Interesting little side note, despite being 1-2 to Washed Up Top, so despite the fact that Clegg Strong's Teemo is 1-2 in the face of Washed Up Top laners 1-1-1, he actually has a gold lead due to the CS, which is just the harass coming out of Teemo. That's not necessarily anything unexpected, but a very interesting play. Looks like Brandana is looking for a gank in top lane, but our Yasuo player is also there securing Scuttle.
Yeah, the Blinding Dart definitely makes last hitting a lot harder, and that was almost a comical death in the bot lane. Airy securing the kill onto the Alistar.
Because of Ignite damage. Ignite dot. Like that's truly just... Oh, that top lane gank that I wanted to watch
with the perfect kick into the Akali. That was outstanding.
Making up for all that crap I was giving him earlier.
Exactly.
Goonstomp deciding to both simultaneously be that Yasuo and not be that Yasuo, chooses not to go in 2v1 there. I am shocked and slightly appalled, to be quite frank.
Yeah, the other thing that we kind of missed there is that again hopped in on Gangplank, again dropped the Ignite and the ult, and it's an easy kill.
That's the Zed I'm used to facing the mid lane, and that's probably not a great thing as the mid laner.
Used to being down 0-4 against the 3-0 Zed.
Yeah, that's the one. Hey, top lane,
going in on
return
Akali
gank.
has...
Take it away, Prowler. It's all you. Right into a shroom. Sorry, that was too perfect. I had to say something.
It feels like that was like a novel title there, The Shroom and the Shroud.
We're doing that thing again where they're simultaneously like 5 seconds apart. That's not simultaneously. That's in fact the exact opposite. Simultaneously, 5 seconds apart. They're getting kills in all different lanes, and I just can't keep up anymore. This is a. I'd like to write my congressman.
Ace deciding that he can just tank that tower. I think he was hoping for the faster back. Of course, Nickel killed the turret just a little too quickly.
Unfortunate desync coming out of our team Nickel players here. Let's hope they can survive to a third game to work on that communication a little bit better.
See, they just don't have that level of communication that Prowler and I do. I was able to get that speedy recall.
Lee Sin going for the
Earlier.
1v2. He doesn't know it yet. Kick is down. Alistar is there. What's going to happen? Yasuo ult comes out off the back of his own thing. His own knockup. Uh-oh, it's suddenly... Oh no, it's getting worse. It's getting so much worse. Oh, that was a Pixel brand ult jumping forward. Do the three of them get out? Does this happen? No, that's going to be a sacrifice. Yeah.
And off screen, there's another very close fight in the top lane that I guess somehow Akali dies 10 seconds later. I think to minions.
No, the shroom. The power of the shroom.
Oh, there was a shroom somewhere hidden in the minion wave. Okay.
Paula, you gotta call it by its official name. To the power of cancer.
The power of cancer.
No, that's the champion itself. You have to. You have to be more specific when you're writing down cause of death.
Uh-oh,
When
this
cancer
is
spreads, it's called a metastasis. Was that what the shrooms are?
Ben Hohenheim doesn't decide to face check, but does walk up to within ward range, which is Zaya's cue to go get another kill and make sure that Gangplank is not enjoying his day today.
Van Hohenheim jumping from complete dominance on Zoe and basically carrying the game to 1-5 on Gangplank. And what a difference 30 seconds and getting into a different game makes.
It's not that we're rooting against you, Van Hohenheim. It's just that we hate your champions and are rooting against you. I mean, we hate your champions.
While we were watching Exia pick up a kill on Van Hohenheim, Ace did clear the Rift Scuttler. Or the Rift Scuttler. The Rift Herald, sorry.
The really big purple Rift
The
Scuttler.
really big purple thing.
As opposed to the really big gold thing that moves.
Yes.
Ace eats a full combo and then doesn't care for some reason. I think because he has lifesteal. But I should switch that back to items. Yeah, he's got not only BF, but another vampire. Who cares? There's a fight going on. Nickelbacker gets caught off the brand combo. Is fairly tanky with that ult that's procced. Has his stun up. Another brand ult coming out from our Evil Envy. He's been on point with those. He/she, whatever. But Cass comes
Brandana
out.
goes in and immediately realizes that was a mistake.
And that's the Lee Sin from all my solo queue games too. So it's interesting that they're both here together.
But does the Zed that is also against me in my solo queues, does that also like counteract that? Like, I mean, like, who's gonna win, right?
The Yasuo's my solo queue or the Zed's my solo queue.
Yeah, exactly.
Exia does manage to sneak in and make something happen out of that terrible fight for Nickelbacker. So overall, not really a loss on either side.
Yeah, and I don't want to give Nickelbacker too much there because Ace kind of hopped in and made it seem like he was ready to go, and I think that's part of that communication. You know, you're not used to working with Ace as your ADC, so he hops in and it ends up being a 4v2.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you gotta do is I think you gotta be in front of your ADC for better or for worse, and that's just where that line is.
The truly important thing here is that Nickelbacker's warding is improved 4 times what it was in game 1, and that's probably the reason that they're up 2 times the kills in this game.
I also love watching Ace trade. Caleb roams down blind darts. Ace auto attacks him like 3 times, and then expert mechanical play, but it's blinded, so it just doesn't do any damage. Like,
This is how you play Lucian against a dummy. It doesn't do any damage, but it looks right.
holy cow! That is. Oh, and a female flash too. Gangplank uses the oranges. Does he? Nope. Okay, that's getting scary.
So I'd just like to highlight that the Zed was able to shadow onto the Gragas as he was starting to body slam, basically blocking the body slam for that engagement.
Ooh, I missed it. I was wondering why he didn't just body slam out. I was shocked that without ulting, Zed was able to do that much damage to what is supposed to be the tank of their team in like a quarter second. Akali jumps in, does Akali things, flashes to safety, probably a worthwhile. I think she's in trouble. A flash forward out of Sigtal into the full cast combo. Teemo Cancer makes his way all the way over to Lucian. Brand ult goes down, lots of passive procs.
I would also like to point out that the tank of Team Sig does not have any armor, so that also explains why he's taking so much damage from the mostly AD comp of Team Nickel.
Yeah, interesting itemizations, but I don't even really know what you do items this one. Just try to kill your opponent, I suppose.
That was a tank play, but he's gonna die for it. Zed finally gets shut down by the Brand player after I can only assume intentionally trying to style on Van Hohenheim because he wanted to. Flash coming out of a lot of players here. Does Nickelbacker make it to safety? Brand's hunting him down. Does Evil Envy? Evil Envy gives up the chase. Probably the right choice. Not sure flashing to try to get the kill was the right choice, but who am I to keep?
I also like the fact that Evil Envy made sure to aggro the Krugs, that just in case Nickel was trying to sneak there and recall there, the Krugs would have killed him.
Yeah, definitely the right call there. Excuse me. All right.
You know, I'm kind of sad. I was really hoping for Shelly to make it to base and actually do a little dance for us this game, but we're not going to get some style points out of Shelly.
Yeah, despite the kill lead and the goal lead, the lane pressure actually hasn't been too oppressive.
Sick play coming out of Zed. Sorry, sick play coming out of Zed. He uses his ult to dodge the cask out of Sigtal Lord's Gragas. Unfortunately, our challenger player is struggling a little bit with this with Xayah's Zed, which is just a compliment to Xayah because that is no small feat.
It's always hard to outplay your opponents when they can just disappear from the game for a second. So definitely good attempts by Sigtal Lord, but there's only so much you can do in a busted game.
Spaghetti code right there. That's just rough.
Yeah, not that you know.
I'm sorry.
A 9-1-7 Zed is not what you want to be trying to have to do anything against either. And when you're a team of squishies and you're just hoping to get to a later game with a Yasuo and a Gangplank, they're in a rough spot.
Evil Envy just spiked since so hard. We had Lee Sin camping in a death brush, and Evil Envy walked halfway there and decided, you know what, I'd rather farm mid. Big fight coming out of top lane. Zed's ult is up again because of course it is. And that is a 2 for 0.
You know what's great here is there are Teemo Shrooms.
Oh no!
Oh.
The minefield is real. Into Gangplank ult. Oh goodness. Okay. Things reset. I stopped holding my breath and realized I was supposed to be talking and not holding my breath.
It's hard not to. You want to just, hop into the screen and be like, "Don't go in there."
It's like a Hollywood movie. There you got the dun.
Like when you're watching a high school play and you're like, "No, kid, you're gonna die if you end up there." And then Othello continues, obviously.
Ace-Kin a little bit ballsy here, going in 3v2, but the rest of his team is coming up behind. Cass comes out, looks like it was the right choice, bought just enough time, or slowed his opponents down just enough to make it worthwhile. Quick moment to this absolutely baller Zed skin that I've zoomed in on, to the exclusion of all else in the game. Moving forward, we have a Baron start coming out of Team Nickelbacker.
So a very good ult from Sigtal Lord there on the Gragas, but unfortunately the Zed is just too big at this point and was able to basically obliterate everyone in that last fight.
Oh wow! Oh, I was watching Baron. Did you know that they had an Akali who jumped forward to die? Okay, that's fair.
That was a very well played fight by washed up top laner there, getting the kill onto Yasuo in a 2v1. Unfortunately, thought they could use some abilities a little bit faster and heal off of the Raptors.
Plague Strong was delaying so hard. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, Lucian gets it, but they're gonna die. If Zed can get away, but he's studying out a ward. Does he know he's studying out a ward? He doesn't know he's studying out a
Doesn't
ward.
matter, he's gone.
Oh, the speedy recall. Totally worth. Hashtag worth.
Yeah, and Clagstrong doing the Baron delay by just skipping shrooms almost the entire time, taking a break only to try to help Yasuo against the Akali.
I literally missed Yasuo dying to the Akali because I was laughing so hard about the shrooms.
It's weird that they didn't do anything about that. Sorry, they being Team Nickel here.
Yeah.
And Zed again goes in, and Zed is 14-1, and this is just a level of dominance you don't want to see.
That, with a single Inferno, has there only been one? No, there's been two drinks. There's a Mountain Drake on the other side, but he also has Inferno, which is not, great.
Yeah, and apparently the silver bullet of this game is just being the mid laner on blue side. I don't know if there's like a buff that you get doing that, or if the Terminator takes over your champion for a little bit, but it's definitely working for whoever's mid laner on blue side.
Ace dives in 1v2. Does he have faith in his? He's fine. He's totally fine. Yep.
The other key to that is that both times the mid laner for the blue side has been a very potent assassin. Not that Echo isn't very potent, but the Zoe is just a more potent damage threat than the Echo is. And Zed also fills a very similar role. So both players able to perform very well and kind of show their mastery of their respective champions. Kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, not didn't mean to interrupt. I was actually going to change the conversation over to gold leads if we were... never mind, Zed wants the focus to be on him.
Zed, of course, listening into the stream and says, no, we're not going to talk about gold. Talk about me again. Back to the gold. Now back to me.
Stop making me laugh so hard. I can't talk. Okay, back to gold. Back to Zed, back to gold. Zed has a 4,000 gold lead as he farms his second Infernal Drake over his mid lane opponent, which is just incredible to begin with. But there's a 500 gold lead towards Team Sig, the red team here on the top side. There is a 2,000 gold lead for Team Nickelbacker on the jungle, and I'm just going to combine the bot lane here quickly, just doing some rough math. They're way ahead on, on the Nickelbacker side.
Very analytical. It's about 1.5 plus 2.5. It's about 4K gold lead combined.
It's about a lot. It's about a lot.
I love the attempt to out chat each other coming out of Brandana and Klagstrong here. That would be the Lee Sin versus the Teemo. Teemo throws out a blind. Lee Sin says, "I've got skill shots, that doesn't matter." Jumps in. Teemo flashes out. Brandana has to leave. It's just like, who won that one? I don't know.
Also, Teemo's blinding Lee Sin. Does that even work?
Yeah, surprisingly not as effective as you'd think. Coming onto the blind monk.
Just gotcha. Well, yeah. You're not technically wrong.
I was molded by the blindness.
About a minute ago now, we did miss Ace jumping in. Did take down Sigtel Lord and then ran into Teemo and one of their champion who's
Brand.
escaping me at the moment, Brand. Not able to outplay the 2v1.
Yasuo just casually running between turrets because he's a solo queue Yasuo. Hey look, there's an ace. That's right, ignore that blue buff, see what happens. Ace kind enough to dump his ult into the blue buff on behalf of Goonstomp. There's a shroom there. I'm sorry, I'm actually enjoying this game too much. I need to tone it down.
Yasuo, or not Yasuo, Exia there, decided to Yumu's only to be immediately thwarted by the shroom, slowing down the chase. Funny interaction there. Ace unknowingly, masterfully dodges the shroom and then walks into it.
Oh, there it is. You missed me a second ahead of me.
It's just like my doctor tells me, you can't hide from cancer.
Which is funny because he just wanted to get into the he wasn't about that gameplay, he was about taking that Nexus, and all of a sudden gameplay was forced upon him. I think that explains Riot's recent mentality with the meta though, is to just gameplay. Holy cow! Zed jumps in, immediately deletes one, ults the other, tries to make things happen. It's a 5v3. This reminds me of something else. If this turns into a clean ace on Team Sig's side, and Team Nickel's side, no it doesn't. Ooh, lovely Yasuo tornado to get all the way through the tank into Brandana. Great plays. Akali is just going to town on these low health members of Team Sig. I don't know what to expect anymore.
Damage. You can expect tons and tons of damage. There's a Triforce in the game. That's all you need.
There we go. There we go. Can I expect a little bit of death too? Is there going to be some deaths coming in?
Well, yeah, we already have 60.
Oh, is that all?
That's 2 deaths per minute. What more do you want?
I want 3 deaths per minute. I'm going to be honest. I demand perfection.
3 deaths per minute being
You
perfect.
demand a sacrifice is what you demand. I really wanted to see Brandana go back in on that. Execute him with the kick.
That was really clean though. Like, uh-oh, Yasuo says, Goonstomp says, not today. Actually, I kind of want to appreciate Goonstomp a little bit more. This is a 1 in 10 Yasuo. Okay, so he's certainly having fun with the champ and playing it to the best of its ability. And I don't even mean this sarcastically. I'm not trying to attack the guy. I think that is just the best way to enjoy Yasuo. Ace has been cut off here, trying to fight versus that Teemo. Does he? No! The Yasuo wall. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's the perfect way to enjoy Yasuo. I'm gonna let that drop.
Between the Yasuo wall and the Teemo blind, Ace is having a real bad time this game.
It's
Not a fun day to be an ADC.
it's like, what version of Yasuo are you gonna see? It's like the Yasuo Two Face, right? Like is it the Challenger Yasuo, or is it the My Yasuo, right? Like my being my own Yasuo, Truffle Swords is Yasuo. Like it's a,
Hang on,
think
do
we
we
could
need
just
to have a
call it
1v1
Yasuo.
Yasuo fight to see whose Yasuo is more meme-worthy?
I would actually love to make that happen. Actually, Goonsap has had some sick plays. I just don't think you can do that against the Zed. Do well as a Yasuo against the Zed. That has 20 and 2, a 20 and 2 Zed. That's shout out to Team Nickelbacker here for doing the Baron Death Brush play. There's no brush involved, but they hid in the Baron pit and waited for Team Sig to show up. Fernandez had some unfortunate kicks, but also some very fortunate kicks, so we'll see if he wants to play that champion again next game, assuming there is a next game.
I think we can expect that there's going to be at least one more. We got to break this tie between casters so they got something to, go after each other with them on the stream next.
Ooh, Wash Up Top Laner does a non-small amount of damage either. Oh, goodness. More assassins, please.
He might just be able to finish this one out, and looks like he will.
Ooh, I loved the
Probably
idea
just
out of
getting-
Sigtao there.
All of the resets on her ult, just able to chase everyone down.
Oh god, and what a 20 and 2 Zed really needs is a third Infernal Drake.
Which team banned Zoe? It was Nickelbacker, right?
Yeah, Team
Correct.
Nickel Banzo, yep.
Okay, so I think the rule here is ban Zoe, you absorb Zoe's power.
Oh, I'm
ban
following.
Zoe.
I can buy it.
Or the rule is ban Anivia and throw away all your power.
That works too. Although, actually, a little bit of respect throwing Van Hohenheim's way. He's got his 4 mains, like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse that he plays. Gangplank is not one of them. I do gotta throw some props to the guy for having a little bit of fun here in this game.
If I do recall correctly, Van Hohenheim in Split 1 when he was Kokoro no Kagi had played Gangplank quite a bit as one of his other champions, and it just fell off because it was AD, I believe. But that's
Right.
reaching way back. I don't
He
know if I
did
remember.
play a significant amount of Gangplank before, when he was easier to abuse with Coin and Kleptomancy.
Right when it comes.
So definitely in his pool, but yeah, not one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse for him. But
Well,
still can play
ladies
it
and-
well.
Sorry, excuse me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of game 2 here. We do have a even split. It's 1-1. I am incredibly excited to move on to the third tiebreaker, the climax, the end-all, be-all between this war between the casters. I don't know who's gonna win. I think it comes down to who bans Zoe and takes more assassins. If this last match had anything to say about it. Please bear with us over a small break. We'll be back momentarily with the third game of the series.
Before we close, I do just want to point out, because I'm sure people are wondering, the Zed did 47,000 damage to champions. Next closest, believe it or not, was Clagstrong's Teemo doing 41,000 damage.
That's actually that's fair. That's disgusting. No one paid attention. I lost on Aurelia. back to downtime. All right, folks, everyone. Incredible games coming out of all of our players. Really, actually, impressively mechanically gifted players. Making some great plays and having a lot of fun. Stream will be back here in just a hot second. About 30 seconds. Thanks, folks.